Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron for Pax Britannica as the good old United Commonwealth of America. Let us continue on from where we last left off. We're still not joining this war in Ireland. You cannot make me. You cannot force me. But for the time being, we're trying to get more and more people to align themselves with us over the British. Because we don't want Britain to have anything. The more nice things the British have, the less nice things I have. And fuck the Brits, right? America number one. The Melbourne Torso Killer strikes again. The Torso Killer struck again. Another body was found in Lower Melbourne today, this time in one of the public parks. A woman was found decapitated and drained of blood by a family on their way to a local church service. The body had suffered numerous stab and bludgeoned wounds, along with damage to the arm and leg augmentations. The medical examiner subsequently identified the augmentations consistent with civilian-grade modifications provided to Razor Maidens when not in active service. It is clear now that the killer is targeting veterans for whatever reason. A theory is Commissioner Ness has heavily pushed to his officers and detectives. A more radical idea has been proposed by the American Police Ministry, who argue that we should begin a process of criminally profiling the killer based on their modus operandi, the field of criminology. Though relatively new, could prove to be exactly the edge we need in returning safety to the streets of Melbourne. Where is Ohio? It is still called Alaska. I'm not joining you. Never in a million years. Why would I send Americans to go die in Ireland? It makes sense. And also, it would cause me mass protest. Why would I waste my stability, which is already quite low? And what would it be, like a negative? Yeah, it would bring it down to like 0%. It would be silly. And now the war's over too, so you didn't need my help. It is currently July of 33. What do I need right now for tech? What shall I have? Let me just quickly adjust. There we go. Excellent. No, not that you can see what I've done, but that's okay. Rotary. So we maybe get some helicopters. I don't know. Are helicopters even any good? I mean, maybe. I don't actually know if you've ever researched them. So you know what? Let's try them out. We'll get them helicopters for the good old US of A. And I'm not too sure, because at some point, I know we can break away from the British Empire. And if we look over at where is it here? We can go to war with them. We can win the Imperial Civil War. At which point we can go for the American Kingdom or to form basically the American Republic. My gut says that I kind of feel like we want to go down the American Kingdom path. Maybe we could see some interesting stuff there. But if people would rather prefer the Republican path, just let me know in the comments. Drive that engagement up. The more people can see this lovely video. So, do you have anything that I would want? Offensive doctrine? I'll take offensive doctrine. I see no reason not to. Okay, so we're going to revise our Indian policy. What do we want to get after that now? We have so many options, right? Keep making moves in Nicaragua. 200 manpower? Yeah, let's do expand Majestic 11 operations. And in our decisions, rest in the Midwest. I mean, everything right now is stable. Infantry in West Florida, infantry in Kentucky, and Vandalia? Where the hell is Vandalia? You're Bailey. You're Vandalia. So I guess we'll position these units like here. Addressing the Ministry of Indian Affairs. The Coolidge administration has recently called upon the Ministry of Indian Affairs to address the issue of bilingualism versus an entirely English education curriculum for the United Commonwealth's Native American population. The debate has been ongoing for some time, with arguments from both sides weighing in on the matter. On one hand, some officials argue that preserving bilingualism would help preserve the cultural heritage of Native American communities and provide a more inclusive educational environment. Others argue that a fully English education curriculum would be more practical and beneficial in the future success to Native American individuals in a broader society. Bilingual. So what do we get here? Reactionaries go down or liberals go down. But which of these would I prefer? Bilingualism, you have no effect, you have no effect. And then you guys, it doesn't look like it actually matters which one we choose. Do neither of these actually do anything? Well, then, if I guess it just affects... Well, I mean, you lose less political power. But it would also make us a little bit like kind of like an asshole. But you know what? Let's be an asshole. There we go. 2 more killings in Melbourne. Another 2 victims were discovered in Melbourne earlier day, making this the first double event in Melbourne tourist killings. The victims, 2 local transients from the East Lower Sector, were discovered by 2 children on their way to school. The victims had been decapitated, and tortured, stabbed multiple times, and drained the blood. The only means by which they were identified was by their wartime identification tattoos, which indicated to the RAMP that these men were also veterans. It is clear now the killer is deliberately targeting vulnerable disenfranchised veterans, typically those displaced by the bonus crisis. Leads continue to be scarce, and civil authorities are urging the public to remain calm until the situation is back under control. Police Commissioner Ness continues his involvement heavily in the investigation, frustrated by the inability of the RAMP to catch the killer once again. My guess? I bet it was Police Commissioner Ness. He's my guess as to who's starting this. Let's suppress Appalachian militia now. We're having a lot of unrest, but you know, it's okay. Southern agitation. Well, I kind of want the Southerners to like me a little bit more, so we don't have to maybe have a rebellion. Support American Texas. Well, I want to say no to that. Seminole ministers protest policy changes. Ministers from the Seminole Nation are protesting against the decision of the Coolidge administration to use a fully English education standard in Native American regions. The Seminole Nation, like many other Native American communities, values the preservation of their native and cultural heritage. The decision by the administration threatens to erode these important aspects of Seminole identity. The ministers have argued that a fully English curriculum will lead to a loss of native language and cultural practices, which have been passed down through generations. They have called for the preservation of bilingualism, arguing that it is essential to maintain a strong sense of cultural identity and community. The Coolidge administration, however, has defended its decision, citing a need for a common language to promote unity and communication within the broader United Commonwealth. The administration also has pointed to evidence suggesting that students who are educated in English have a better academic outcomes and greater success in the job market. Despite the protest, the Coolidge administration appears to be committed to its position in the issue, and it remains to be seen how the decision will ultimately impact the Seminole Nation and other American communities throughout the United Commonwealth. So you get no special treatment. We can have a little bit... Yeah, you know, let's have just a little bit of some exceptions. So what else? Where else do we need to send these troops? I also need to make sure... we need the southern provinces to like us a little bit more. But that's also actually for 20... So you're going to get disabled no matter what. Everyone becomes more radicalized. Like, that's not good. How are the rebels doing, by the way? The Federalistas are doing pretty well in Nicaragua. And the Federalistas, I'm assuming, are the liberals? Yeah, that would make sense. Well, 20.7. Or Federalistas, maybe they're the... Oh, no, the Federalistas are the reactionaries. The liberals are the Zelenistas. I mean, it literally says right here. Okay, got protests in Australia. That's fine. I mean, what's going on in Australia doesn't affect me over here in America. Well, at least I don't think it does. You are a long time to research. 212. Yeah, 169. That seems pretty reasonable. MRE is going to be done in a second. We'll then get ourselves construction 2. And we can research MREs instead of these basic rations. And I think they're cheaper, or maybe they're better. I actually don't quite remember what the difference is. But so far, still the government is the most popular in Nicaragua. And everyone is now a little bit more radicalized. That is bad. We got more southern agitation. Agitation will be temporarily suppressed for 100 points. The thing is I'm not getting a lot of... I need political power for so many things right now. I can't balance everything. Curie's dead. Look, I don't give a shit about Curie. How are you guys? So, New England and the southern region is now unstable. That's cool. That's nice. New England militias. How many? You need like 2... 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. You need 24 infantry. Be instantly canceled if we complete rush and crush solution. Rush and crush. Oh, I can do that right now. I mean, we could rush and crush. You know what? Actually, starting a civil war probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It'll be interesting, right? Yeah, let's rush and crush. Coolidge, it's your time to shine, buddy. We're going to crack down on these fucking veterans like nobody's ever seen. So I'm guessing everybody's unstable now. They all hate us. We need more than 70% stability. And that, fuck, it doesn't do anything. It sucks. Okay, potential breakthrough in Melbourne. Investigation in Melbourne has had a breakthrough. Criminal profilers have identified the killer as having a clear anti-veteran bias, but also noted that stab wounds on victim were consistent with combat training afforded to American shock troopers in the Iberian campaign. Stab wounds are also consistent with the combat knights issued to the shock troopers, particularly serrations on several points within the stab wounds themselves. Following up on this, the RAMP indexed Commonwealth records for individuals who served with the American shock troopers during the war and turned up several results. Police have begun to work to locate the individuals mentioned within the system, report back results as they are found. So that's what, like 5 or 6 people dead? Well, as long as you weren't one of the millions of young men sent to sent to Iberia, then you're going to be fine. You'll be okay. But in 10 more days, suppression militia costs will be lowered from 50 to 40. So these are cheaper then. But I mean, that doesn't actually help me out too much, to be quite honest with you. I don't know what happens once this all fucks up because I don't have anything. Trade American units, 50 days, less stability. Give me the units, I guess? No, this is 50 more days on all the focuses. But I don't get fucking political power. What am I spending this shit on? Widespread poverty? Just be richer. Just have more money. Oh my god. Very unstable. Again, I don't have enough political power to do anything around here. Like, we can get 40 points for you. But also at the same time, oh my god, these are the radicalized to fucking kingdom come. 90%, 95%? The country is literally falling apart. Give me piercing. Seems fine. How am I supposed to deal with all this shit? How's the AI deal with all this shit? And even this will also take 30 days. No, it adds 30 days. Wait, is that all it does? It adds 30 days? Fuck that shit. Like, that's not worth my time at all. I'd rather have the, No, you're radicalized. I can't solve this issue. Then you did not be radicalized to maybe increase funding for you. Support American Texas. Texas Settler Coalition exists at war the Republic of Texas. The Warhawk lobby needs to be more powerful. So the Freedmen and the Southerners are 100% radicalized. How many? What? You kill the 100,000 people? Well, if 100,000 people need to die, then I guess 100,000 people are going to need to die. What else can I do about that? You're still very unstable. And our stability is now negative 17. It's not great, okay? I'm willing to say things could be better in America. Hot take alert. Maybe things could be better, okay? But, like, if you were to just, I don't know, hold off for a few days. Zero tension, that's, let's increase attention. Fuck it, dude. Let's go. Small amount, small amount. Who would I want to get more aligned with us? I don't know. I mean, everyone's pretty high up there. Like, maybe Victoria, but promote national unity. That's 50 political power. 25 days is that's like 3% stability. Are you shitting me right now? 15 days. I'm not going to get 100 political power in 15 days. Then weapon shipments, 50 political power. What do you do? I guess we'll just give more guns to Nicaragua. If I can't control things in the United States, or United Commonwealth, sorry, I might as well control what the hell's happening in Nicaragua. Because everything else is completely falling apart. Give me a World War I era helicopter. Should be fine, I'm hoping. So you can rate like 4 guns. Fourth victim was identified by Melbourne Lower Sector Coroner as Martin Donaldson, sharpshooter from the 85th Shock Trooper Corps that served in the Iberian Campaign. After doing further research, we've uncovered that at least 2 other victims were also part of the 85th. This draws a clear line to the potential identity of the killer, although police are still searching through Melbourne for further suspects. It is notable, however, that the 85th was directly involved in the siege of Valladolid and suffered significant casualties. Curiously, the Army records of their involvement have been heavily expunged or outright classified. Well, I mean, it's not great, right? 9 days, 50 days, another 50 days. Like, fuck. Just be happy. You know, like, just because your jobs are being replaced by robots doesn't mean that you... Just allow yourself to be replaced with robots, okay? And shut the fuck up. Kick down, like, fuck, kill them all. Kill them all. Bonus brigades ready to stockpile. Cannot continue. Motherfucker, it's going to continue to happen. Yeah, fuck. Crack down on anti-American stuff here. I mean, you can't get any more unstable than very unstable. Do you think, can the United States collapse into several smaller countries? Wait, can it? I said that as kind of as like a joke. But like, wait, but now I'm like, is that a thing that can actually happen if I don't deal with this correctly? Kick down the gates. Escalation domination. It'll come to an end. France has joined the Revenge Pact. That's fine. I'm not too worried about that. I mean, Revolutionary is actually doing very, very well in the Middle East. Dear Mr. Ness, the letter to Stank, spilling drops of blood on his desk. Ness looked around the office of the other officers. Their expressions ranged from morbid curiosity to choking on vomit. It had arrived that the office was a private courier paid in pounds and unable to say exactly who the original writer was. Untraceable, of course, because why make things easy on the investigation? He slid the letter opener across the top and peeled it apart, unleashing the sickly sweet smell of rot into the room. The officers backed away, a few running to the garbage bin to vomit. Ness held his breath and reached a gloved hand into the envelope for dumping the contents onto his desk. A rotting human eyeball tumbled out, still dripping with congealed, clotted blood. Ness could only guess which victim it had come from. The heads of the last 2 still hadn't been found. The letter within was smeared and sharply written, but with some effort could make out the words. Dear Mr. Ness, I am sorry for what I did to these men, but you must understand the importance of my work. We need retribution for what we did, and once my work is completed, you will receive my confession in full. An eye for an eye will make the world right. Pretty sure that's not how the saying goes, but that's okay. How long will this take? So we have 30 more days on you. So in about 2 months, 2.5-ish months, this whole crisis will be behind us, right? And that seems good. Some good old-fashioned peace. Return to America. We are at base value of -74. Does seem really bad. It might be some of the worst I've ever seen in my entire life. And you're 100,000 manpower. That's actually like, that's honestly kind of impressive. Like, what do you had more days. The press cost gets lowered. If all of them were stable. Well, that's if we had things being stable. Motherfucker, they were not. They're not stable. The whole country is falling apart before our very eyes. Everywhere is very unstable. And you know what? I probably wasted political power on this shit. Just give me my negative 100,000 stability. And we could be happy. Okay? Mega corporations. I mean, the mega corporations love us. Trade unions don't give a shit about us. I mean, give me industry here. Armor-piercing munitions is okay. Well, and then we're going to be in 34. You know, we could go for improved meal supplements. Seems fine. Let's go with the early heavy ship hull. Put 5 on you on the building block right now. Not worried about Nicaragua too much. And you're for evolving the military, which is not happening. So you're 33. The Federalistas are still pretty powerful. Okay, another victim has been found. Fifth victim was found this morning in Melbourne. This time dumped in a park just outside Lower Melbourne Police Department. The message is clear and obviously intended for the Police Commissioner Ness. The body was once again lacerated multiple times with the head removed with some kind of blunt object and the body drained of blood. Notably, the identification tattoos had several cuts around them and received an arrow clearly meant to draw attention to the individual's identity. The man in question is Herbert Creeley, an ex-officer within the 85th Shock Infantry Corps that served in Iberia. Just like other identified victims, Creeley was notably dishonorably discharged for inappropriate conduct during the siege of Valladolid. However, like the other victims, his records were expunged by Majestic 11, which I'm assuming is the, the CIA, or the equivalent, MI6, I guess, would be kind of like the British equivalent. Base value negative 78. Factory output is negative 91.2%. How many guns? We make 16 guns a day with 5 factories at almost 100% production efficiency. That's honestly pretty goddamn wild. That is so bad. By the way, is Nicaragua my puppets? They are my puppet. This is the Torso Killer speaking. The National News Hour, a program hosted by Edward Bose. The call lines are open to viewers to submit questions for that week's interviewee. In this instance, neurology pioneer Walter Freeman attended the show to promote his new cutting-edge lobotomy procedures. Within 10 minutes, an individual called onto the show and announced himself as the Melbourne Torso Killer. He proceeded to describe to bewilder Boas his manifesto. According to the killer, the attacks were a retribution for his unit's actions during the Great War, and he claims that during the Battle of Valladolid, his unit conducted a mass killing of numerous surrendered Spanish troops and civilians. Before he could provide further information over, Majestic 11 agents stormed the building in force and shut down the program. Crucially, however, the caller remained on the line for just long enough for the police to get a rough idea of his location. He called from deep within the Lower Melbourne industrial sector. Commissioner Ness has gone along with the team to apprehend the killer before he can escape. Forward unto hell! The door slammed inwards. The police stormed the abandoned factory complex. What had once been a simply patriotic plant shut down during the automation crisis was now the personal headquarters of Ness's target. As the police swarmed in, they quickly located a scrawny man attempting to flee out of the broken windows. The man was clearly malnourished, but still muscular enough to put quite a fight up before he was cuffed, even biting an ear off one of the officers. Ness could only watch as this man thrashed the dirty factory floor, only stopping once their eyes met. With a smile of crooked broken teeth, he spoke. I wasn't sure if you'd make it, Mr. Ness. He rolled himself into the belly to size up. He rolled himself into his belly to size up the police commissioner. His body was covered in cuts, at least a few hundred, each lined neatly up as though they were tally marks. They don't teach you fellas what we did in the war, do they? You think they put that in the papers? Ness sneered, almost instinctively kicking the bound man in the stomach. Shut your mouth, freak! You're going straight to the goddamn chair if I have anything to say in it. The killer seemed unfazed. He kept rambling on and on, his words coming borderline incoherent. They tell you about the church guy. We rounded him up. Everyone was so tired, dog-tired. They'd take a spot shot at us from the march up, cracked Johnny's mask. They were still gas in the air, you know, invisible. Dead in an hour. We all watched it happen. We found the girl. What did it? Nessie boy, and you know what they did to her? The commissioner stood there silent, the rest of the officers unsure what to say. The killer started to shake, his knees buckling. He kept babbling in between bouts of tears and snot. They cut her up bad, man. They caught her up, and they had her. And they had shot up the whole church that she was firing from. I watched them do it. I couldn't do anything about it then, but I wanted to make things right. I had to make them pay, man. I had to. It weren't right what we did back there. Sounds around the room, only broken by the killer's sobs and thrashing the floor. After what felt like an eternity, Ness finally mentioned for the other officers to carry the man outside, where he was regrettably surprised to find Majestic 11 agents dutifully waiting nearby. They were above his pay grade, and thus was little that he could do to stop them as they took the killer in tow and sent a cleanup crew into the factory. Maybe there is no real justice. How many days we got on this one? We have just a few more, but I think we'll wait until next episode to get that done. So thank you for watching for today. If you enjoyed, my thumbs up. Not enjoying, thumb down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.